When Igor was 15 and a half, he got ill. The doctor said that he had a tumor on his spinal cord and that he will never walk again. Before the diagnosis, he seemed completely healthy. He was very active. He did speed skating and tennis. When I was told that he will never walk again to me, it wasn't just shocking, but completely devastating. To accept that was really, really hard. First thing I did, I was just cried right there in the hospital. Not a single person came up to me to encourage me or to give me some medication to calm me down, which is very shocking to me now that I think about it. This was probably the first time in my life when I genuinely went to church, same day. I didn't know where else to go. You've probably heard of these stories when people say that they couldn't be diagnosed for a very long time. We were diagnosed within one day. Friday morning, we went to the hospital, and Saturday morning, we knew our diagnosis. And by Monday, we were already in Minsk for the surgery. The doctors completed the surgery and said that he had 7 days left at the most.
From hospital, I was released in 2009. They let me go home to die. They said, it will be good if he lives a week. Later, from a nurse, I found out that they let me out into hospice. But God has His own plans and His own time. After I was let out of the hospital, the atmosphere at home was very tense. No one knew what to do with me, and the doctors didn't help. Mom had many nervous breakdowns and she cried a lot. I understand her. When the atmosphere at home is calm and welcoming, you just go through struggles a lot easier. But that wasn't the case then.
This whole situation was really hard. Why me? Why did this have to happen to me? I couldn't accept this fact. Of course I prayed a lot. I prayed to everyone. It didn't matter who at the moment. I just wanted a healing miracle instantly. I wanted to see him get up, or that the doctors would somehow make it better. All our hope was, of course, on the doctors. There was a period of time when we were at the hospital for 7 months in Borovyane, and at the end of the 7th month, the doctors refused to medicate him because he wasn't going through chemo well. During the time of 2 chemos, we were in the ER 6 times. He had a micro heart attack. He had a laser therapy, and after that, the doctors sent us home. They sent us home and said that he wouldn't leave past 1 week. But the Lord decided otherwise. He had a different plan. And we fought and we prayed. Well, the situation in our family wasn't the best because I couldn't accept the fact that this was happening to my son. I couldn't accept that. My heart was very, very heavy. I don't know, there were times when I simply couldn't breathe, especially after we came home, because everything at home reminded me of the life Igor had. His old school was right there as a constant reminder. Everything was just difficult. And this lasted for 2 years. Misunderstanding, worrying, endless crying, and nervous breakdowns.
In 2011, my mom and I were invited to Camp Isle of Hope. At first, we didn't really want to go, because before, even when I was healthy, I haven't been to camps like that. Well, and in my current situation, it was even more difficult with the wheelchair and all the help I need to get around. We weren't sure what the conditions were like. At that time, I also had tracheostoma, and you're not supposed to be in big open spaces when you have tracheostoma. But God pushed us to go. So we ended up going to the camp. Here, the atmosphere was completely different. It was during the time of the camp that I noticed it. Here, people were different. They were kind. They treated us like they didn't look at us like we were outcasts. They treated us like any other people. They showed care and kindness. But the most important part is that they told us about Jesus Christ. They told us the gospel about Him. Before that, I did believe in God, but I never really thought about, and I certainly didn't take any actions upon it. I didn't really try to get to know Him. This camp pushed me to start my search. After the camp, this was what was left. I remember we were driving back from the camp and I saw people walking. I was watching them and thinking, did they know about Jesus Christ? They walked, they were happy, at least they seemed happy. But this happiness they had to me didn't seem the right kind of happiness, or it seemed fake. When I came home, I started reading the Bible. It became interesting. I wanted to know more. I watched a lot of different video clips and movies. Of course, as it says in the Bible, faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the Word of God.
For every mom that has a disabled child, I think so. One of the most important things is when someone can come up to your child and just be friendly, say hi, hug them, come up and just ask, how are you? For me, that was very important, because in our everyday life, Igor didn't have that. People usually walked around us, gave us weird looks, and it's very important when people accept you as an equal, as one of them. Here, people are always welcoming. They give a hug, give a high five, and to them, it doesn't matter if your child is intelligent or not. They love you just the way you are. That for me personally, I experienced some kind of, I can't even say that it was delight, but it was just thankfulness to these people that they are not afraid of him, that they are not afraid of Igor, that they are not afraid of being contaminated. Not like some of my friends. They just stopped being part of our lives and coming over because they were afraid of catching the illness. And other moms here, when they first come to the camp, they're just like I was, very cautious of everything, But then, even today, I saw how they genuinely hug each other. They became so happy and kind. They wish each other a good day. And now they take initiative to come up to you, encourage you. They do want that warmth and love that the volunteers give here. They give that hug and love that this world doesn't in everyday life. I think it's very important when your kid is accepted just the way he is and they don't expect anything in return. A volunteer is a person who, specifically at this camp, is arms, legs, and eyes of a child, if need be. What does he have to do at camp? Well, first of all, he has to give love to these kids, show God's love, their own love, so that the kids could feel that they are loved, cherished, and cared about. What makes me come back every time is the desire to help others, the desire to tell others about God, about Jesus Christ, who gave his own life for all of us. And he loves everyone, and that's what we want to do here, to give this little piece of love to other people, other kids.
And for many years, every summer, a team of volunteers and I come back here to share our love with these kids. Kids who the world looks down on, doesn't show love, and ignores, sees them differently. But here we love them, here we understand them, and here we respect them, and here we show them the way to heaven, where they are loved even more.
You know, another huge advantage of this camp is that the moms of these kids get 5 hours a day of free time. At first, they don't really trust their kids to the volunteers. But then they get more relaxed and they know that their kids are looked after and nothing will happen to them. They can just use this time to relax a little, sit on the bench and talk to one another. They can have some tea together. They can listen to the Word of God and Bible study without worrying and having to rush anywhere. And I think that's a huge benefit of this camp, just being able to let your child go for a little bit. As a mother of a special child, I understand that I always have to be in control of the situation. And at first, it was really hard for me to let him out of my sight. I always thought that he had to be next to me. But then I trusted the people here. I saw that all the volunteers treat him well. And you know, for many months here, it's like a pause. These pause when they can just sit down and think or listen to the birds sing.
This isn't my first year at this camp, and I've seen many parents and kids that come here. The majority of people, parents, they're really happy here. They all want to come here. There are many people that would love to come here from Mogilov and the towns around. There are many people that want to come here, but they don't have the possibility to do so, namely financial.
For this short time here at camp, we can't help them or make a grand change, but what we can do is give them hope. Here we can show them the one who can help them in their difficulties, give them strength to overcome different situations which they face every day. We have a calling to love other people and show them the one who is the source of this love. Here we want to introduce them to Him and just surround these people with love and care so that they know that they are cherished in the eyes of the Father. It's great that there are so many people that are willing to sacrifice their time to be at this camp with these kids, but who doesn't have this opportunity to give their time. You can still help. You can donate so that at least one more family could hear the good news and get to know the Lord. Or just tell your friends about this camp.